The human tongue is either your ultimate strategic shield or the exact point of your absolute downfall. Most people look at speech as just a valve to dump their emotional tension or a cheap way to feel important. They talk simply to fill the room, completely oblivious to the fact that every single piece of information they give away is a weapon handed directly to a potential enemy. In sociology, there's a concept known as the social facade. A strong person understands that this facade has to be a monolith. Strength isn't measured by how loud you can yell. It's measured by how much raw information you can hold inside under intense pressure. Weak individuals are constantly hunting for external validation. They crave confirmation of their worth from anyone who will give it to them. Strong people, on the other hand, manage perception by creating a calculated deficit of information. Today, we are going to break down the 7 things a mentally mature, strategically dangerous individual will never allow to leave their mouth. 7 phrases that have been permanently erased from their vocabulary. The first thing, displaying your final card. You'll regret this, or I'm going to destroy you. Any form of open threat is a definitive marker of childish helplessness. Psychologists call this reactive outward acting out, a state where raw emotion completely runs past strategic calculation. When you threaten someone, you commit a fundamental tactical blunder. You give them the luxury of time to prepare. You activate an evolutionary defense mechanism in their brain, shifting them into a state of hypervigilance. Machiavelli famously wrote that if you're going to injure someone, you should do it in a way that leaves them no room for revenge. A strong person never warns the world of an impending strike. If their interests are compromised, they don't waste breath rattling the air. They silently map out the opponent's vulnerabilities, build a legal, economic, or social trap, and snap it shut only when the adversary is completely relaxed. The silence before a storm is inherently more terrifying than the storm itself. Never reveal your moves. Your retribution should be a factual reality, not a promotional announcement. The second thing, oversharing past trauma. It hurt so bad back then, I was deeply betrayed. Modern culture aggressively pushes this idea of toxic vulnerability, baring your soul to every bystander and calling it processing trauma. But in the real world, where rigid social hierarchies govern, your past trauma is nothing more than a blueprint for your destruction. In dark psychology, this is known as vulnerability mapping. By revealing exactly how you were betrayed in the past, who did it, and how it felt, you are quite literally telling the person across from you, here is the exact code that guarantees a breakdown of my psyche. Use it if you ever want to bring me to my knees. A strong individual discusses their scars exclusively with a professional, or not at all. To society, their past is a sterile, restricted zone. You cannot be manipulated if the manipulator has no idea where your psychological triggers are hidden. The third thing, announcing unformed triumphs. Soon I'm launching a massive project and making millions. Broadcasting your plans before they are fully realized is a mental crime against your own success. The human brain is wired paradoxically. This phenomenon was detailed by psychologists in the theory of implementation intentions. When you share a grandiose plan, people around you subconsciously offer their approval or admiration. Your brain takes that social validation and floods your system with cheap, unearned dopamine. It short circuits. Your neural network literally registers that applause as if the goal is already achieved. Consequently, the motivation and the raw energy required to execute grueling physical or intellectual labor drops to near zero. Strong individuals enforce total radio silence on their goals. They operate in the dark. Those around you should never see your ambitions. They should only witness their materialized results: a purchased asset, a launched business, a completed project. Let your execution make the noise instead of your promises. The fourth thing, the public calculation of your resources. I have absolutely no money right now, or I am obscenely rich. Articulating the precise dimensions of your financial or administrative capital instantly slaps a price tag on your forehead. In the eyes of predatory social actors, you instantly become either easy prey or an object for exploitation. If you broadcast poverty, your social environment immediately devalues your status to zero, cutting you off from high-value connections and real opportunities. Conversely, if you brag about wealth, you activate deep social envy and attract sophisticated manipulators who will simulate loyalty or affection purely to capitalize on your assets. A strong individual always maintains a strategy of controlled ambiguity. No one around them should ever know the true size of their bank account, their debts, or their leverage. Impeccable modesty bordering on hidden omnipotence. This is the highest form of financial sovereignty. The fifth thing, appealing to pity. I am so unlucky. The entire world is against me. A complaint is a verbal surrender. The moment you utter words of self-pity, you sign a document conceding that external circumstances are superior to your intellect. You voluntarily step into a drama triangle, permanently occupying the position of the victim. To a strong individual, the very concept of pity is inherently toxic. They know that society does not empathize with the weak. It utilizes them. When you complain to colleagues, partners, or friends about how hard your life is, their subconscious flags you as a defective element unable to handle the load. Rid yourself of the illusion that anyone is coming to rescue you. Every crisis is merely an equation with a set of variables requiring a cold solution. If you are struggling, process that stress in the gym or convert it into calculated professional rage. But out loud, your reality must always sound entirely stable. The sixth thing, confessing to mental blindness. I don't know what to do. I'm completely lost. Spikes of existential crisis and disorientation happen to everyone. It's a normal phase of cognitive evolution. However, projecting this bewilderment aloud, especially in front of subordinates, competitors, or family, is an immediate collapse of your authority. The very second a leader or a dominant player utters the words, "I don't know what to do," the architecture around them begins to fracture. Humans instinctively seek out those who possess a trajectory. If you lack a direction, they will migrate to someone who is at least simulating one. If you find yourself disoriented, implement a tactical withdrawal. Simply state, "I need to analyze the incoming data. A decision will be finalized tomorrow." Then, in the silence of your room, alone with a blank sheet of paper, map your way out. But never trade long-term respect for a momentary lapse of posture. The seventh thing, the public registration of others' sins. I know your secret, or I can see right through your lie. Fools, upon catching someone in a lie or discovering a hidden secret, immediately shout it in the person's face just to satisfy their own ego. A strong individual accumulates leverage and intelligence in absolute silence. If you confront a liar with the fact that you know they are lying, they will simply become more sophisticated and alter their tactics. They won't stop deceiving you. They will merely isolate you from the markers of their deception. Possessing someone else's secret or hidden motive is a colossal lever of power, but it functions only as long as the opponent remains completely unaware that you hold it. Armed with information, a strong individual continues to smile, pretending to believe every single word the manipulator utters. They allow them to venture further and further into the trap, logging every detail, waiting for the critical junction to deploy that knowledge for a total and unconditional victory. Your speech is a highly expensive currency. Stop squandering it for fleeting emotional comfort. Every single time you feel the impulse to reveal your plans, complain, or threaten an enemy, take a deep breath and lock that thought inside. Allow it to burn there, converting itself into the pure, cold energy of execution. Smart people speak because they have something to say. Strong people remain silent because they control the chessboard.